village called Umuofia. There lived a happily married king and his wife, Izunna and Zeloa. They were happily married for 25 years without any issue, any child to call their own. Their faith had already fizzled away, but as a king of a kingdom, a heir to the throne was needed. The king has done everything in his power for a magic and miracle to be done, but all to no avail. He loved his wife so much that he never thought of bringing in another woman. The issue ate him down. He couldn't give a thought of watching the kingdom he built being taken away from his lineage. The kinsman's suggestion was fruitless, as age was no longer by his side. He gave in to one of his kinsman's advice. He advised him to impregnate one of village maiden and marry her, at least to foster his name. After many sleepless nights of thinking over it, her wife Zelu supported his decision for her husband to be happy. They prayed it works because both of them had no fertility issue. The problem was as tough and confusing as anything. The news of Igwe's decision was sent across the whole village. Within a short space, the rumor spread through the village. All the maidens prayed that the gods should choose them, at least, to be the queen of their kingdom. Their parents as well prepared them and wished their daughters would be chosen. A girl called ADANMA was very nervous and beautiful as well. She told herself that she would be the chosen one. She went so far, to the extent of going to another village to buy love charms. It was well prepared for her. After that, she made her way to Igwe's palace, uninvited. At the sight of the charming maiden approaching, Igwe got carried away. He needed not to ask further, as her beauty was just too much to behold. She made her way into the king, and the fun King Izunna had was unforgettable to him. He pleaded that she shouldn't go again, as he will make him his wife immediately without giving it a second thought. ADANMA jumped into the offer. She has gotten what she wanted already. Izunna lost control. With zealousness of his quest, they made out on countless times. The news circulated round the village of his newfound lover, yet to be wife. That was how ADANMA lived in the palace as Igwe's new wife. Fortunately for her, she took in for Izunna, as if she made the whole thing so easy and fast herself. Izunna's love for her knew no bound. He sent messages across again and gave the biggest marriage ceremony in town for her new wife. Zeloa gradually became an old story. It was all ADANMA wanted. She did everything possible to get Zeloa out of the palace. She claimed she has luck, and her luck will give Izunna a male child. ADANMA Adama turned into a Jezebel. Anybody around her was nothing as far as she lives. She pursued people out of the palace, including the king's men, going as far as sitting on the throne, which she will tell the king that the baby demands to. Izunna tolerated every of her misconduct just to have a child he would call his own. Adama became the adult. She took away any food at the reach of Zeloa. Zeloa now grew older than her age. His husband gave his full time and attention to his pregnant wife, while everything about Zelo changed. He doesn't eat good food any longer. His kinsmen also avoided him and the palace because the king does nothing about his new wife's insult on them. She changed so fast, rumored the villagers. I know there is something strange about that girl initially. We should have maintained the peace of the kingdom with our queen. Umuofia is going to be torn apart with her presence. It seems the king is no longer himself. How come he doesn't take decision again, unlike him? He suddenly dances to the tune of a woman that bends to urinate. Oh no, he wasn't happy about the incident in the palace. Series of thoughts danced through his mind. Back to the palace, Adama had become the decision maker. Whatever she says stands. She constantly yells at her co-wives, talks to her like a maid, bent on making life a living hell in her own life. She tolerated all that because of the pregnancy. Whatever makes the husband happy is okay by her. She was not allowed to prepare meal for her husband any longer. The precious co-wife will never enter the kitchen. Talk more of cooking. Izunna become a drunkard. That was the only thing he eats to sustain himself, as he vividly told his wife to do anything Adama said or leave the palace. She went too far, as spoiling his mind that Zeloa was a witch. That was the reason she wasn't able to give him a child. The queen began to work for other people he once fed to feed herself. She did that happily though. The talk filled the kingdom. They all cursed Adama that the gods should punish her for her evil deeds. Adama cared less. He went about doing unexpected. And the worst, she talks to the king like a baby boy. People doubted if it was pregnancy that made her as such. They all patiently waited for her to give birth.